In this demonstration, I'm going to show how to add finger and toe stitches to a soft toy. This is a finishing detail that can really bring a toy to life. I have an Avery fox here, ready to go, and I'm going to add toes to one of his feet. Begin by threading a needle with doubled over thread. The thread needs to be quite long for this, as these stitches do use up a lot of thread, and then double knot the end. I'm going to make 2 stitches on this foot, and that will give 3 toes. So take the needle in through the bottom of the foot to one side of the centre. This is what will be the back position between 2 of the toes. And then because the thread's quite long, just ease it through carefully so that it doesn't tangle, and so that the knot sits nicely on the bottom of the foot. And then sew back through the foot, bringing the thread out close to the knot. And then repeat this again to make 2 small stitches through the foot. And these small stitches will just help to support the thread ready to begin the toe stitches. So I'm just completing the second stitch through the foot now. And then to start the toe stitch, I need the needle and thread to be on the top of the foot. So I'm just going to go back through the foot and bring the thread out on the top of the foot, ready to begin. So to make the toe stitch, bring the thread over the front of the foot and then sew through to complete the stitch. Now for this I'm just using regular cotton sewing thread, and so I'm going to make a second toe stitch over the first one, over the front of the foot. If you have extra strong thread, sometimes called button thread, that's ideal for toe stitching, and then you only really have to make 1 stitch over the front of the foot. So those 2 toe stitches are complete now, and so I'm going to sew through the foot again and just pull on the thread just to secure those stitches, make sure they don't work loose. And then to do the second toe stitch, I'm going to take the needle through the foot and bring it out on the top where I want to begin the toe stitching. But just to secure the thread before I begin, I'm going to sew through the foot once more, just make a stitch through the foot. And then once the thread is back on the top of the foot, I can begin the next toe stitch. So there's the first one. And try and make the second stitch as much of a mirror image to the first one as possible, so it's a nice even finish. And there we have the second toe stitch. And again, just to hold those in place, I'm going to sew through the foot again. Just make a stitch through the foot and just pull on the thread. And then to secure the thread, on the bottom of the foot, close to the base of the toe, just make a small stitch, and then before the loop closes, feed the needle through, just to make a little knot, just to help secure the thread. And then I'm going to sew through the foot again, just for a bit of extra security. So I've made a stitch through the foot. And then to finish off the thread, I'm going to take the needle in, close to the bottom of the toe stitch, and bring it out anywhere on the foot, like that. And then just snip away the excess, pull on the thread, snip away the excess, and then a little tail of thread is held within the foot, making it harder for the stitches to work loose. And there we go, toe stitches. And as you can see, it's exactly the same technique to make finger stitches, and I've put 2 little finger stitches on this hand. It just really does give them a little extra something. There we go.